Welcome back to another episode of Dilnika's Talk Show. And it's me, your host, Dilnika Ediracharge. Today, I have an honorable guest. But before we meet our guest, a quick reminder for you guys. If you like this talk show, hit that like button, and also, if you want to get the notifications of my future videos, click on the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Also, don't forget to check out my Instagram account. You'll find the link in the description below. So now it's time to see who is our honorable guest. He works in Sri Lanka Police and he is the Deputy General Inspector of Sri Lanka Police, and also he is an attorney at law. Also, he has played a huge role during the COVID-19 pandemic in Sri Lanka. So, I would love to welcome Mr. Ajit Rohana. Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for accepting my invitation despite of your busy schedule. So now, it's time to get to our questions. Sir, could you briefly tell me about your childhood and what made you to join police?
Well, so first of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to you and your mother, father, everyone for the invitation. So I think it has been dragging for a period of 2-3 weeks.
Yes.
So however, I was able to find the time to you.
Yes.
I was born in a small village called Kanampella. That village is situated in Colombo district, Western province, and I studied at my village school called Kanampella Junior School, and thereafter I came to Ananda for my higher education, and I am the eldest of my family. I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers. So your question is how I joined the police. I did my A levels at Ananda College and I did bioscience subjects. So my intention was to be a doctor. So I worked hard and I sat for the A level examination. First time I was not able to go to the medical college, and at the second attempt also I did not get that chance. I was selected to Colombo University. However, those days all the universities were closed due to internal problems. So therefore, being the eldest of the family, I had a duty, I had a role to play. However, the universities were closed, but I didn't have any idea to join the police or security forces. However, suddenly I was compelled to join the police. Actually, that particular incident happened in 1988 because there was a small bakery in the vicinity of my residence. So every evening I go there to read newspapers. And one day, one of the boys of our village, he came to that bakery and he made a request to the person who supplied bread from that bakery to Koskama police station to bring an application in respect of police constables, because that had been published in newspapers according to that boy. On the following day, the person who provided breads to Koskama police station had come with two applications. One was for police constables, the other one was for sub-inspectors. The second application was for sub-inspectors, so it had been there on the table, bakery table, for a long period. Then finally I thought that, now I didn't have anything to do because universities were closed. So I filled that application and finally I joined the police.
Wow, that was so amazing. Do tell us, how did your parents help in you to achieve your targets, and what did you give them in return?
Yes, it's a very good question, Dua.
Yes.
And I'm tempted to answer that question because I love my parents, especially my father, my mother. But in year 2016, my father passed away and he is not in this world at the moment. So, however, at the inception, from the inception, he guided me. I had a capacity to talk to media. So those days we didn't have this type of electronic media, but I was prepared by him to talk to general public, and I made public speeches at the age of 3, 4, 5 like you. So my father enhanced my general knowledge. Every day he was asking questions from me. So who is the President of the United States at that time? So who is Mahatma Gandhi? Who is SWRD Bandaranaike? Where the Everest Mount is? What is the longest river in the world? So these questions regularly he raised. And apart from that, if I am able to give the correct answer, a toppy or 25 cents given to me. So therefore, in the morning the question is given, okay, so today you have to talk the characteristics of C.W.W. Kannangara, the first Sri Lankan education minister. So those days we didn't have internet, we didn't have Viber, we didn't have Google, WhatsApp, nothing. So therefore, I had to collect some information because the library was far away from our residence. So I talked to my uncles or the elderly persons in the vicinity, and I get those information. So therefore, my father helped me a lot to enhance my knowledge, general knowledge, everything, and my mother also protected me every time. And I had been a notorious boy in my school time. So I had assaulted several classmates, schoolmates, and every day the complaints had been received to the principal of the college, my village school, and apart from that my parents. In the evening, some parents, they come to my residence and they make complaints and they scolded my mother and father because of my conduct. So however, my father did not punish me, but every time he was trying to correct me. However, my father's guidance and assistance, I was able to change my behavior, change my conduct, and when I became the age of 16, 17, I think my all bad habits, all notorious works had been changed. So thereafter, uh, thereafter I studied very hard and sat for the O-level examination. I was able to get 5 Ds and 3 Cs at that time. There were no A's. And apart from that, as you said, in return, I helped my feeble father because he had been on the bed for a long period. So I treated him along with eminent doctors. So, however, at the age of 83, he passed away. And my mother is still, she is living, and still I visit my mother very often.
Wow, that was so heart-touching, sir. So you have come a long way in your career. What would you say was your biggest achievement in your career path?
Yes, well, so I have been practicing 3 main principles in my life from my childhood. My father taught me these 3 things. Actually, it's not my father, but father also had grasped these intangible things from 3 world leaders. So every time my father mentioned about them, one is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln is the 16th President of the United States. Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin, a small house. His father was the boatman of Mississippi River. There was a ferry service there, so the father was the boatman. Abraham Lincoln was elected as the 16th President of the United States, and upon his arrival to the White House, the official residence of the President of the United States, what he said? He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, today I have come to the supreme residence of the world called White House, but I came from a log cabin." So this is very, very important. So he didn't say he came from a palace, he came from a castle. So what he said? He said he came from a log cabin. So therefore, he did not forget the past. So many leaders, many intellectuals, some of professionals, when they reach the apex position, they forget the past. The village, the school, the friends of his own village, even father, mother, parents, brothers, sisters, they forget. But what we need to develop is, like Abraham Lincoln, we should not forget our past. And the second thing is the patriotic ideas. Patriotic ideas, because the greatest leader, one of the greatest leaders of the world is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela had been detained for a period of 27 years. What is your age?
12 years.
12 years. So 12 plus 12, 24 plus 3, 27 years he had been detained in an underground bunker by the British rulers.
Oh.
So then thereafter, after 27 years of time, he was released, and he did not create any fight or problem with the people who have detained him for a long period.
Yes.
But he refreshed his nation. He improved South African nation, and finally he was able to create the best constitution in the world, the best constitution of the world, that is South African constitution. So therefore, every time, so you might be facing challenges, you might be facing plenty of problems, but you should not criticize your motherland. Every time you have to love your motherland. First, second, third, every time you have to respect your motherland. You should not allow anybody to criticize your motherland. You have to practice this thing. And the third thing, what I learned from one of the greatest leaders of Asia, he is Lee Kuan Yew. In 1949, the poorest country in our region, Asian region, was Singapore. So we were Sri Lanka was the second richest country in Asian region. The first one was Japan.
Okay.
But today, Singapore is the richest country in the Asian region. Actually, not in the Asian region, but also in the Australasian region.
Yes.
How he created, how he converted this fishing village to a modern country. They don't have anything. They don't have gem. They don't have hydropower. They don't have minerals. They don't have water. Water is also imported from Malaysia. So 3 intangible things he utilized. Number 1, honesty. He inculcated the concept of honesty in the minds of the people, of the citizen of Singapore. Then number 2 is punctuality. So now here in Sri Lanka, if we say 11:30, they come at 12:30.
Yes.
Okay. If we say 12:30, they come at
1:30.
1:30. The punctuality is the second concept. And the third concept is efficiency. Efficiency. So what's your question? That how I achieved many things because of this thing. Number 1, I did not forget my past. Then every time I think of my country and I practice the concepts of punctuality, efficiency and honesty, integrity. So these are the things.
Wow. So what are the obstacles or challenges you have faced as you moved along your career path? Please do tell us, how did you achieve those, overcome those?
Yeah, I'm a Buddhist.
Yes.
I was a Dham Pasal teacher, Dham school teacher. And every time I follow Lord Buddha's theories. But I respect the concepts of other religions such as
Islam, Christianity.
Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, all these religions. So, being a Buddhist, the Lord Buddha's one of the best concept is Arya Ashtangika Marga. So there are 8 things you need to face with. So what is it? So now when my photo or my video is circulated on Facebook or WhatsApp or Viber or Instagram, so I should not expect, so everyone would make comments in appreciating me,
Yes.
in recognizing me. So I should expect, okay, so somebody would post a rose flower or clapping or like this.
Thumbs up.
But some might say, Ajit Rohan is a bad man, I hate him. It's okay. So I need to expect that type of negative comments also. So that is called tolerance. Tolerance. So every time you have to practice that particular concept, tolerance. So then the other thing is time. So if I am getting anger every time, I might be a criminal or I might be a troublemaker. So finally I have to face with consequences. But sometimes we need to allow time to solve problems. Then the other thing is, if I need to achieve a target, sometimes today I might be fail, tomorrow I might be fail, but one day I can achieve that target. As I told you earlier, I was selected to the university to follow a BSc degree. At that time, universities were closed. Then I joined the police. So I was thinking, now doing a BSc is good, but it is not suitable to police sometimes. So it's a different type of area. So I thought that I need to do a law degree. So those days, nowadays there are many paths, many ways to complete a law degree, but those days we didn't have that avenues, opportunities.
Yes.
So 3 ways at that time. So if you have done your A levels, so straight away you can join the Colombo University, and thereafter you can complete your LLB degree and go to law college. One path. But I had already done my A levels, so that path had been closed. The other 2 paths were law college entrance exam and open university entrance exams. So since 1990, I sat for those exams 9 times.
Wow.
For this one time, this in the same year, law college, I failed. But at the 10th attempt, I was able to get selected to the Open University of Sri Lanka. Then I followed that degree. So therefore, sometimes, you know, we have obstacles, we have barriers, but if you have a target, continuously, if you think that I can achieve this thing, one day you can achieve it.
So thank you, sir, for joining on my talk show. And I have one last question for you. What do you think about my show?
it's very good. So I believe that. So definitely, you would be one of the best English presenters in this country one day.
Much.
Yes, you have that skills, knowledge, presentation skills, everything. Because now I think I have been interviewed by almost all the electronic media presenters in this country.
Yes.
The I mean of main electronic media channels. So, but in comparison to them,
Yes.
you are also in the front.
Wow. That was a very great comment, and your story was so amazing. Thank you, sir, for joining me on my talk show despite of your busy schedule. And I thank you and your loved ones a great, bright future ahead. And also, I'm not forgetting you guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for another inspiring video like this. For now, goodbye and stay safe. This is Dilnika Adiracha from Dilnika's Talk Show. Bye bye.